Welcome back to the Janky News Update, the show where I, your host Janky, brings you all the latest news, controversies, and discussions from the past week in gaming. And today we have a lot to get through, so we're going to jump right into it. But before we do that, I just wanted to go over with you kind of how we're changing up the format of the weekly news. I'm going to be covering more news stories and kind of going through them a bit quicker than I used to. I used to kind of just pick like 4 stories and cover them in a lot of detail. But now we're going to go through just more stories. So we're going to go from general gaming news to PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and then releases. And I'm still going to, give my 2 cents on all of it. And I'm still going to go into enough detail, but I wanted to cover more of it. I wanted to get through more news. And I think by splitting it up this way, we'll be able to cover more. So let me know how you like the change, how you think it all works out. But this is how we're doing it for now. I'm open to suggestions, but yeah, let's get into it. First thing on the docket today, starting with general news, is an update on the ever-lingering Black Flag remake, Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. This project has been in the news for a while. It's been in the rumor mill for a while, but with the rumored release date of March of this year, or the release window of March of this year, fans are getting kind of impatient on an official announcement, or really anything from Ubisoft to hint or announce at anything to do with this project. Earlier this week, the unofficial Assassin's Creed News Twitter account reported that the domain name for Assassin's Creed Resynced, or Black Flag Resynced, has changed. Kind of boring news, but it does confirm that Ubisoft is doing something with this project, at least. I personally can't help but feel like the window to release it in March of this year is kind of closing, and the window to build hype is definitely closing. So unless they go with a shadow drop kind of way of doing it, I don't think it's coming in March. And honestly, a shadow drop seems unlikely with all the leaks that we've had. I feel like it would be in Ubisoft's best interest to promote it in some way, especially because of all the leaks. If you remember the Oblivion remastered, it shadow dropped, but there wasn't nearly as many leaks about that as there is about this Black Flag remake, so we'll see. For me personally, I don't really care about delays. I have more than enough on my plate to play as it is. Honestly, if nothing released for an entire year, I would be perfectly fine just playing my backlog of 1,000 games, but I know people are excited about this, and honestly, I just want more information more than anything. I don't really care when it releases. I just want to know, is it going to, are they going to completely change the systems? Is it going to implement a more like RPG leveling system like the newer games? Is it just going to be like a graphical overhaul? The game still looks good and plays well, so I don't know. I feel like it would make more sense for them to go the route of adding story content and adding different things that we didn't see in the original game, hopefully taking away some of those trailing missions. That would be my hope for it, but we'll see what happens. There is no official, announcement yet. There's no release date, there's no release window, we have nothing to go on. It's just rumors, just leaks, but yeah. In other news, we got a pretty comprehensive showcase about the new Resident Evil 9 / Requiem game that's coming out later this year. Personally, I have never really played a Resident Evil game. I don't have the stones for a horror game or horror movies for that matter. That said, I am quite interested in what's going on here. I know I probably won't play it, but it's caught my eye a bit, and especially after this showcase, I'm definitely intrigued in what they're cooking up here. The main focus of the showcase was this dual protagonist system that they're implementing, where you'll play some of the missions as Leon and some of them as Grace. Game director Koshi Nakanishi explained that they didn't want to have Leon play as a timid character, hiding from zombies, stealthy kind of stuff. They wanted it to be more of like an action game when you're playing as Leon. This was shown in the showcase in the trailer that we got. It's, brutal combat, finishing moves. The ammo looks pretty plentiful and he has a big arsenal of weapons, so they're definitely leaning more into that, action adventure or action horror kind of genre with him. But then when you play as Grace, it's more, stealth horror, survival horror kind of thing, where the ammo is way less plentiful. There's more emphasis on stealth. You don't have to shoot the zombies. You can just simply crawl around them. And more puzzle solving and stuff like that. Stuff that, maybe more classic Resident Evil fans will be a fan of. But they're really trying to please all sides of the Resident Evil spectrum with this one, which hopefully it works out. But you know, with recent games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I personally love that game, but I would have loved it more if I didn't have to play as Yasuke, right? Like, I feel like this attempt at pleasing both sides of the gameplay spectrum are often met with criticism and fans feeling like one of them isn't as fleshed out as it should be. So hopefully it doesn't go that direction, but we'll just have to see. As usual, I'll have this showcase and all of the other stuff that I talked about in the news in the description below. So go check it out if you want to. The next piece of news came at the worst possible time, as if I didn't already have enough on my plate in terms of games to play, videos to make, and work, I guess. But we got an official release window and feature list for the new Terraria update. It looks insane. It looks super ambitious and full of content. I couldn't possibly read everything, so I'll put big lists on the screen right now, but I'll just go over a few of the things. It includes new mounts, furniture, weapons, quality of life improvements, new music, and just a bunch more. You know where to find the link. Go check it out if you want to. One thing that wasn't included that fans were maybe expecting was crossplay. Relogic said that they're very aware of the demand for crossplay, and they are hoping to get it out in the next few patches, but as of right now, there's no release date on crossplay, and it's not out yet. So that's a bit unfortunate, but we'll just have to live with all of this new content that we're gonna have. All right, moving on to PlayStation news, and first up, the cast has been revealed for the live-action God of War TV series. The most notable addition was Ryan Hurst, who voiced Thor in God of War Ragnarok. I can't speak on his performance because I personally never played Ragnarok yet. I've played the first God of War. Go check out my video on that if you haven't. I'm really excited to play Ragnarok. It's definitely high on my list, but I haven't played it yet, so I can't speak to his performance. But I will say, with a bit of bulking and some hair dye, you know, he does look the part. He definitely looks the part. And fans seem to be pretty excited about this appointment. In some exciting news for PlayStation, with Playground Games currently working on both Forza Horizon 6 and the new Fable game, PlayStation fans might have been feeling a bit left out for the first time in a while. But don't worry, PlayStation fans, you're still getting the love because Fable is reportedly going to launch on PlayStation Day 1, which is crazy news. We already knew that both these titles would be coming to PlayStation eventually, but I definitely didn't expect Fable on PlayStation Day 1, that's for sure. And that might kind of explain some of the delays we've been getting with Fable. Maybe they planned to just release it on Xbox and PC and then last minute kind of tried to develop a PlayStation port, and that's why it's taking so long. I don't know. We also got the confirmed PlayStation Plus lineup for January. It includes big highlights like Resident Evil Village, which makes sense with the new Resident Evil game coming out, and also Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which also makes sense because there's that new Yakuza 3 Kiwami thing coming out. I don't really know much about Yakuza, but it looks cool. Other titles in the PlayStation Plus lineup include Expeditions Mud Runner, which is a really cool off-road driving sim with some super realistic physics. It's fun, it's cool. And Exit 8, which I'll be honest, I only know because of watching speedruns for it, but it's weird, creepy, and absolutely worth a look if you have the subscription already. The rest of the lineup is A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Darkest Dungeon 2, Art of Rally, A Little to the Left, and Ridge Racer from the PS1, which is also really cool. Now moving on to Xbox, there isn't really much this week in terms of Xbox news, but there's one thing that does stand out, and that's that Xbox announced a new safety initiative in partner with PlayStation in partner with Sony and Nintendo, which kind of does sound like boring news, but we'll get into it a bit more. Officially, it's aimed at improving safety for younger players, and unofficially, it is also aimed at making sure that Karens don't sue them for, making their kids addicted to video games. I'm only half joking. If you remember last week, it was reported that a mother in the US is suing Roblox and Fortnite because her daughter got addicted to video games. Personally, kind of sounds more like bad parenting than anything, but who am I to talk? I can't even take care of my chickens in Stardew Valley. But on a more serious note, Roblox especially has had some genuinely disturbing news surrounding children in the game. And I'm pretty sure I can't talk about all that on YouTube, but extra safety measures are always welcome. So I think that goes without being said. On to Nintendo news. it wouldn't be a week without something ridiculous, and we got something ridiculous. This week it's Corey, who is reportedly still in the house. The Nintendo DS exclusive, Disney's Corey in the House, has been a meme for years now, but it recently reached 9.3 on Metacritic. Due to reverse review bombing, I guess. This likely happened in response to Expedition 33 reaching the highest ever Metacritic review rating. And people are, for some reason, upset about that, so they went into Corey in the House's reviews and bumped them up, like, by just, kind of sarcastically reviewing it. It's funny. I'll put a couple of the reviews on the screen now. It's pretty funny, but Corey in the House is a TV tie-in game that was about as good as the TV show was, but some of the reviews are hilarious, and I just think it shows how important it is that we keep fan voting at the Game Awards to an absolute minimum. Remember when the team behind Palworld was inches away from getting sued by Nintendo for ripping off Pokemon? Well, it seems like they've learned absolutely nothing, and they plan to continue to be a pain in Nintendo's ass. And just to be clear, I am fully on the side of Pocket Pair here. I think that copywriting gameplay mechanics is not okay. I don't agree with it, and I think that Nintendo should drop it, if anything. But Pocket Pair has teamed up with Japanese TCG company Bushiroad, and they're making a Palworld trading card game, kind of like the Pokemon trading card game. And it's launching on July 30th. I feel like after closing in on a win in that lawsuit, the lawsuit's still ongoing, but it's pretty obvious that Pocket Pair is going to win it. I think they're just doing everything to, show Nintendo, you can't touch us, taunting them a bit, but I love it. I think it's hilarious. I just hope they don't fly too close to the sun on this, because they're definitely walking in the line of a copyright infringement, but we'll see. The last piece of Nintendo news before we get into the releases for this week, LEGO revealed their new Zelda set. It's based on the Ocarina of Time, and it's a diorama set featuring Zelda and Link fighting pig form Ganon. It's really cool. The set is listed at $180 Canadian, and it includes minifigures of Link, Zelda, and human form Ganon, which is really cool. The minifigures are amazing, dual molded legs and arms on all of them, custom hair pieces. They really went all out with this lineup of minifigures, especially since they added the human form Ganon, which they didn't really have to do because they have the, built model of pig form Ganon, which is obviously like 4 times the size of a minifigure, so it's not a minifigure, but it's part of the set. So I think that LEGO actually did a good thing here with releasing a very solid set of minifigures, which is something that they don't always do, pointing to a few of the sets on that shelf there. But yeah, as a video game fan and a LEGO fan, it's a very good time to be alive, because we're getting sets like the Game Boy, the Pokemon sets. We've gotten a bunch of Mario sets recently. It's a good time to be both into LEGO and video games. So if you're into LEGO and you're into Zelda, highly recommend checking it out. It's a bit pricey, but honestly, just for the minifigures, it might be worth it. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. Moving on to the releases this week, and for the first time in a while, we actually have some stuff to talk about. The first one up is Code Violet. This is the one where it kind of looked like an Unreal 5 tech demo from the start. It's one of those games where you play as a overly sexualized woman protagonist and you're fighting dinosaurs, with the up the ass kind of camera angle. One of those kind of games. Personally, not really for me, but if it's for you, fair enough. But it's bad. Apparently it's really bad. People are comparing it to Mind's Eye, which if you've heard anything about Mind's Eye, that's not exactly the type of comparison that you want. But yeah, the reviews are pretty damning. It looks horrible. I haven't played it, and I probably won't after the reviews, but if you've played it, let me know what you think. The second release of the week is Hytale, which is definitely more interesting. It is currently in early access, but people are loving it. It's a sort of Minecraft-like, but more focused on combat and adventure, and it actually has some really cool, animations and mechanics that aren't in Minecraft, obviously. If you like sandbox games and you like this blocky kind of art style and you don't mind a game that kind of rips off Minecraft, then go check it out. It's really fun. I'm having a blast, and it is still definitely in early access, so keep that in mind. But the ideas are there. It's awesome. Go check it out. All right, that was the week in gaming. We talked about Black Flag Remake. When on earth is that coming out? We talked about Resident Evil 9. We talked about some Nintendo, Lego, some trading card games stuff, a bunch of stuff that we talked about this week. If you enjoyed it, consider leaving a like, comment what you thought was the craziest story of the week, and also let me know what you're playing. I am currently playing through Far Cry 3 for the Greatest Games of All Time series, little sneak peek spoiler there. And I'm also still playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I am absolutely loving. I definitely have a newfound love for tactical turn-based games. I mean, I knew I always liked them, but this just takes it to the next level. That game is outstanding, and I'm very excited to do a video on that when I finally finish it. It's like a 70-hour game, so not anytime soon, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Anyways, let me know what you're playing. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, and I will catch you in the next one.